Good morning, folks. We've got some interesting things to see today in the science realm. Gamma ray rebound shockwaves. Relativity wins a battle but opens the door for electricity, and I caught Thor throwing a tantrum. Let's go to spaceweathernews.com and find the last 24 hours on our star. In addition to the lack of sunspots, solar flares, and CMEs, the solar wind at Earth has calmed continuously since we spoke yesterday morning. All space weather is quiet as the Earth-facing coronal holes begin to head for the western limb. So up next, let's go for the satellites. Thor's performance up on the Mesa was epic and actually much prettier than even these amazing satellite overlay combinations. You want to see? News returns in 2 minutes. Alright, now it's time to think. We're starting with the longest lasting afterglow of a gamma ray burst, 1,000 times exceeding the light signature duration expected, and it turns out that its genesis of a supernova allowed a pre-blast shedding of the material to have the blast strike it and bounce back in a rebound return that allowed the light signature to last for so much longer than it otherwise would have. Up next, we find ourselves zooming in all the way to the center of the Milky Way. Veteran observers know the greatest test of relativity was set to be S2's close approach earlier this year in May, Newton versus Einstein, and Einstein won. Now here is where it gets super interesting. The observation which cannot be ignored is the short-term light shift to red profile as the star swung past the galactic nucleus. They called this a gravitational field redshift, where unlike the distance they usually say causes redshift, here the powerful forces of the galactic center did it. So let's just say that one day science actually figures out the essential roles of electromagnetism and electrostatic forces as they play in gravity, the reason why mass bends space-time. They will have no choice but to blame those static and electromagnetic forces underlying gravity for all redshifts. That is quite the door to open, and for those electrically minded among us, go ahead and walk through it today. We've got wind maps and shots of our star to close. We'll do this all again tomorrow, right here, but right now it's 5:05 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.